When most people think of a Chevrolet Camaro, they think high performance rather than high efficiency.
But a team from WVU is working to change that perception by taking on an ambitious project, the EcoCAR3 Challenge. The four-year competition pits 16 teams from North American universities to design, build, and demonstrate cutting-edge, eco-friendly automotive technologies. The DEP's Mike Huff traveled to Morgantown to check out the progress.
If you're of a certain age and handy with a wrench, your idea of modifying a car to improve its performance and efficiency probably involves bolting on a few parts, maybe tinkering a little under the hood. Well, times have changed.
Some vehicles nowadays have over 100 different computers that control everything inside the vehicle, from the transmission to the engine to the radio, and you have to communicate to all of that. And if something doesn't communicate correctly, nothing will work. So to intercept those communications and actually be able to get this vehicle to run is very complex. And it's not just as easy as plugging in an engine to this vehicle and it just magically runs.
And that's just for an engine swap. Besides replacing the Camaro's stock 3.6-liter, 335 horsepower V6 with a small EcoTech 4-cylinder, they're adding a very powerful electric motor, a pile of batteries, plus all the controls and associated drivetrain bits to make the whole complex thing work together. This is not a job for shade tree mechanics, and that's why, at this stage of the project, the most heavily used tool is a laptop.
We've got it starting right now, but that's kind of just on the bench. Once it gets hooked into the car, it might not like something that something else is telling it. So right now it's not getting any communication from other computers in the vehicle, but once it does, it might not like the way that we're starting it right now. So that's our major challenge, that we've got to work with how to figure out all this communication stuff.
The goals of the competition are to improve fuel economy and reduce tailpipe emissions. That's the eco part. But after all, it's still a Camaro. So what happens when you put your right foot down?
With this being a performance vehicle, if you're in that electric vehicle mode, you have a high state of charge of the battery, but the person has a lead foot and wants the Camaro to be a Camaro, then the engine will have to kick on, at least for some period of time, whether it's an acceleration event or a passing event or something, or just out joyriding and having fun, right? But once we've hit that electric vehicle mode, or what we call charge depleting mode, the range in this case at 35 to 50 miles, somewhere in that range of normal driving. Then it goes into charge sustaining mode, where the control systems will have to decide, when you hit the accelerator pedal, where is it going to pull the power from? And that's all based on controls and control wire.
WVU's EcoCAR3 team is made up of over 60 students, from undergrads to PhD candidates, majoring in fields ranging from engineering to business to journalism and communications. The idea is to give teams the real-world, hands-on experience of designing, developing, and marketing the car from start to finish.
It's definitely a challenge, and I think it would be a great experience, especially if you ever wanted to go work for an automaker. This is something that they deal with every day, the kind of stuff that they work on all the time. So I think it's a good experience, and it's really fun when you finally figure something out, when you actually dig in, and a couple weeks later as a team we come up with something, and we figure out, we meet a challenge, we meet a goal, and move on to the next thing. So it's definitely very exciting and rewarding.
WVU's Camaro arrived on campus in December, so team members have been busy collecting baseline data from the stock vehicle and all of its systems, so that at the end of the competition they can meet or beat all the benchmarks. The serious wrenching starts next month. The team hopes to have its hybrid Camaro running by this May. In Morgantown, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
We'll check in periodically with the team to see how it's doing and bring you an update in an upcoming edition of Environment Matters. In the meantime, you can follow the team on Facebook and Twitter. Just look for WVU EcoCAR3.